usually our Fitch we're going to rename the Fitch currently still Fitch called Fitch Connect XRIN. So you need to actually install the program. So I guess if Lisa correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, we you would distribute the installations program, share the installation program with your students. Otherwise, we can make the arrangement if you haven't. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we have it. Yeah, we have it. Actually, it
uh,
can be downloaded through the Excel and also from the Excel. Yep.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So after you have successfully installed the Excel when you open up the Excel, you'll see additional tab called Fitch Connect. So this is a major tab. So I'm not going to like go through one by one, but like give you the key one, like the login. This is the most important one. So you would you will actually use the login ID, which is will be the same as the one on the web. So like the one I have is actually Daniel.Chen. Uh, all right, and then input my credential. And when I sign in, you will see the authentications coming. Success. And you, unlike the web, you don't have to like, log in every time. Once you have logged in, the system will store your credential in your Excel. And then you will see there's a multiple tabs here. Um, so that's the template that I'm going to introduce. It's called Bank Fundamentals Template, uh, Bank Fundamental History Template. So you can actually see the download button, and then you can just download it. I have already downloaded the file, so you will see this is the file that you have. You can actually save in your local drive. You can actually, if let's say you have a lot of like a project, or you want to like analyze the bank in different by region, etc., whatever it's actually fit your research project, you can actually feel free to save as a different name because the file will be the same. And then you will see there's another two tabs I'm going to introduce. One is the search, another is the field items here. Search, what does that mean? It's actually like when you do a research project that you may already have saved a certain criteria. For example, I would like to search banks, the banks. So if let's say if you want to like have a more specific, then you can actually like select the lower level of classifications. But I would like go for a bank just in case some entity they may have like multiple sector, so I don't want to miss it in my analysis, right? And then you can actually go to like geographic or other options here, so you can actually choose. And then like for example, if you are only interested in certain countries, you can choose that. Or let's say I'm actually only interested in the Asia bank, then I can actually choose it. Just click Asia, or I'm more like global, I can actually click everything. Then you can actually save this search here. So that actually you can actually save it, and then you can put a name on it. So it will say this is the criteria. So I believe some of you actually may use the portfolio function. What is the difference between the save and the portfolio? It's actually save is actually I've saved the search criteria because actually we will have like data in and out. Will add more data to the system, or sometimes for the weighted universe particularly, we may remove some weighted universe if let's say the issuer decide to like withdraw the weighting, so that it's possible the weighting will the entity will change, but the portfolios actually will remain the same as what you have chose. So like for instance, I have chose like 20 bank here, that would actually always remain the same. I would, if I want to add more bank, I will actually have added the portfolio instead of the system will pick up automatically. But the safe is actually, I chose the bank in Asia. Today, I may have like, when I search it, based on this criteria, I have about 3,004, 3,401 bank in the system fit my criteria. But like if like I do the search next month it may become like 3,500, for instance. So that number actually will based on the latest database status we have. Okay, and then another is actually the field here that is actually is the show the data available on the XIN, so that like mainly it's the financials. So you can actually see that this is the bank financials here. You will see that we classify the data by like the financial statement, balance sheet, assets, etc. I've actually I can share with you some shortcuts in the later stage. All right. So you have some ideas right now. So this is actually the template I have. So you will see. Let me just make it larger. So you will see this is like it will already populate some sample here, but this is not the bank I want to do the research. So what I can do, you can see this is template that can host over 5,000 entity. But what if let's say I want to have go back to like 30 years ago? So the bank I have is actually maybe more than that 5,000. What I usually would suggest that you would do is actually like you can break down by country. If let's say the search you find that the entities exist 5,000 entity, okay, and then you can actually, like I said earlier, you can save that in different file and to get the data and consolidate that and put it in your statistics software like Stata or eView, etc. So let me actually start the data collections. So this is a sample data, so I don't need that. So I can just clear the data, and then I can add entity. It will bring you the search again, the window again. So, is any question? Sorry, is it question? Is there any questions here? Okay, no worries. Yeah, feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so like this is actually the portfolio I already have in my account. So for demo purpose, I actually like not going to like put down a 3,000 bank. So I just like use the smallest sample here, the 20 bank here. So this is actually it's actually like I have 21 now. I think I so what I need to do is actually go to the top of the required entity field here. And then what is actually need to do is that you can see there's like add to template. I really hate the new function here. Add to template. You can see that I will actually populate the data automatically. And then now actually I can close it. I really hate the new function here. Yeah, so you can actually see that I have the entity here as well as the entity ID. So next step I need to do is actually go to preferences, and then you may ask me like, hey Dan, if when I started doing that, I may forget your steps. So what can I do? So don't worry, it's actually on this template, we have a guide here. So actually we will tell you step by step how you can actually use this template. If you forgot how to do it, just go back to the guide and look at the reference. And then, and also this button here is actually guide you like step by steps how to use this template. So after I have added entity, and then I will go to preferences. The preferences here is actually you will see there's a multiple item that I need to configure. So if you are familiar with our bank data, you will actually may be aware that we actually collect the bank financials with 5 standard accounting standard. So we have IFRS, and if let's say if you go back to the data before IFRS, actually we use IAS at that time. So we have more than 40 years financial data. So if you go back to some long historical data, then you may want to include the IAS as well. And then for the US GAAP, for the large bank, large American bank, actually they use the US GAAP instead of IFRS. Like Citibank or JP Morgan, they actually use US GAAP. And then we also collect the data from the local GAAP. Like for instance, Bank of China in Beijing, actually their financials report in both IFRS and China GAAP. So that would refer as a local in our system. And then some bank actually they may not be a public company, so they would not have like prepared the financials or and not publish to the data to the public domain, but they would actually have the regulatory records. So they will regulatory. So this is actually like all the data accounting standards we will have in the system. But when you do the analysis, let's say you want to, when you get the Bank of China to do your analysis, you don't really want to have a duplicate, like otherwise you would ruin your data sets, right? So you will only have one set of data instead of multiple. So here is actually like it would tell the system what is your preferences. So I usually like set one and two as like they are equivalent. IFRS first and then IS as a second. So actually like if they are they're supposed to be mutually exclusive. So actually like I would actually prefer the IFRS data first, and then I would actually choose US GAAP as a second because there will be a lot of big bank if you do a Google research, and then I would choose local, and then you will see that oh, actually like this should be free, and then this should be four. So if you make the like mess up, so you will see that they will like flag it as a red. So you see that this is actually like you have to fix this order, and then usually regulatory is better than nothing. So I actually set as the least preferred data, and then the like consolidations we also will collect the consolidated and non-consolidated data. So so the default here is actually like consolidated first. If it doesn't have it, then it will go to non-consolidated. But some of your research project actually you may just like I want to have like consolidated or I just want to have non-consolidated. Okay, so that is actually your preferences, and then you can set up like the period you would like to analyze, and then that would be whether you would like to have the year-end data or actually you would like to have the interim data, or you have both, etc. So that is actually your preferences. So now I just set as the year-end data only, and then you will have the currency. For you can actually like we have four default setters here. Local that is depends like which bank are you looking for. Like if let's say you're looking for a Chinese bank, they're probably like renminbi, but if you look for a bank in Japan, there will be probably like a Japanese yen. But as researchers, usually most of the academic journals actually for like prefer the USD as a in your research project. And then my items here is actually like customized. I'll go through later. And then whether you would like to have a blank row if let's say the entity doesn't have the data for that period. So I would actually just like hide them. So this is actually my setup. And then I would actually like go to the my item here. My items here is actually like show you what kind of data I would I would like to download. So this is actually like some sample, but I would like to let me actually like just um, open a new file first. Sorry, I just put it back. I don't want to just like waste our valuable times to do that. So like let's say you want this, you don't want this data point, you can just do it here, and then you can add data and then you can actually like go to search like financials here. Yeah. And then you can actually choose, like I just random pick a few items here. Okay. And then I can actually add to template and then it will populate that. Okay. All right. And then I just put back those actually I already copy. So add a few more. So this is actually the data I want to get. And then what's next is actually go back to require entity or preferences. So all set, okay. And then the next step I need to do is just click the
I
download.
just have a quick question here.
Sure, go ahead.
Can you go back to the previous screen?
Oh, it's running, so I can't go. It's running, sorry.
Okay. So you didn't mention if I want to download the quarterly data instead of the year-end data, can you? Because I didn't see the option there.
Oh, okay.
Interim
No worries.
periods.
Oh, actually, pretty quick. We can actually go back now. So
And
actually,
that's
you can see the file and go back to references. So this is actually like you can see the interim only, year end and all interim. It means actually like the quarterly data. If uh like depends on the bank. Some bank actually like if they are listed company, they would actually have the quarterly data. But if they are non-listed, they will likely only have the year-end data. So it depends like the company itself rather than like, oh, Fitch, you will have the data. I'm sorry, actually that is depends on the bank. How do they publish the data? It's not
okay.
us because we, yeah.
So it's based on the bank published, not you guys don't change the data basically. Whatever they give you, you take it.
Yeah, no, we are not creating data for the bank. We
Yeah.
actually
Okay.
collect the data for the bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
No problem. So like some if you want to like send your analyst like for specific research, you can do that as well. So like
Sorry
it's actually
to
very quick.
disturb you. Hello.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
go
have a
ahead, please.
question here.
Sure. Yeah.
Is there do you have data for banks?
Sorry,
Do
it
you have
broke up a little
data
bit.
for lending rate?
Sorry, can you say that again? Is the voice broke up? So can you say that again?
Lending rate.
Lending rate.
Bank's lending rate.
You mean interbank lending rate?
Uh, yeah.
No, lending rate is actually more like market data. It's actually you don't really have like financial like we are talking about financials data here. Financial data is actually from the financial statement. Financial statement they would not disclose the lending rate, right? Because that is more like a market data, and that market that interbank lending rate is changed like almost like every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't have that, right?
No, we are more like focused on the financial data in our database. Yeah. Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. So based on the results we have, so you can actually see that it would actually give you like the data. This is we call history check because actually like I mentioned earlier, we collect the data we including all the accounting standard and consultation status. So here is actually like we have like 10 different combinations, but we actually here is actually telling the you like what kind of combinations is available for the bank on the certain year. So like it is from our samples, Agricultural Bank of China, they have like 2020 to 2003 here. It's actually that is actually like we have the IFRS consolidations, we have local gap consolidations, we have IFRS non-consolidations, we have the local gap non-consolidations, and based on what we define, this is the eventually chose in the data, so that you will see this is the combination of the portfolio I just set. All right. And then if you go to the data tab, that will be the data, the actual data that we have downloaded. Okay, so this is the data, yeah. And you can actually like export or copy and paste this data or you can actually like convert it into an Excel file and import this data to your statistical software to do the analysis. And then we can actually go back to my items here. So you can actually see that we have many data items. You like I mentioned earlier, you can actually go to the data item, add to items here, and then search the data. It's doable, but to be honest, it's very challenging. Even I know the database very well, it's very, very challenging to look at that. So I can actually share one of the a trick that for you is actually we have a data dictionary here. So this is our bank data dictionary. So here is actually like I can share this file with Melissa after the call. So this is actually like this is the data we have collected. We have about 1,000 data points. So so here is actually like give you the structure. This is under the income statement, and then you will see that is how we define the data. And this is actually like what's the name, and this is too is actually important for you can actually simply copy and paste and to the historical template. Okay, you can actually simple copy and paste here, but don't delete like here. Don't delete the row because that is actually may break the macro behind of the template. So you can actually clear it up, and then so here is actually you will have the definitions because actually like how this is actually more like this. We look at the account statement, right? So this is actually how we calculate each item because that may affect your when you do your analysis, that will affect your decisions. What kind of data you contains, and when you try to explain the phenomenon, actually you may understand the data behind. So that is actually what. And I'm also aware that you guys may want to have like do some research related to Islamic banking. So here actually we have like Islamic specific item. So you can actually go to our session here and then search other support data Islamic bank. So this is some additional data point that we collect for the Islamic banking. Yeah. So yeah, so actually that is actually this is more like the shortcut for that. So you will actually you have see what kind of data available. Yeah, so I think this two file is actually will help you to collect the data for your research, bank data research. Yeah.
So you do not designate any bank as a Islamic bank, basically, the saying?
We actually this is under the same database. So we more call universal banking database, but we would if they are Islamic banking, then we would actually have additional item for those Islamic bank. So
Yeah,
the database itself actually will be the same, like all the financials, but we would actually like one of our key differentiator is actually like compared with other data vendor is actually like we would use this we collect the data on our own other than unlike the other data provider like one of my previous company so they more like they some in some regions they collect the data they buy the data from the other data vendor in some specific region. So our for Fitch solutions, actually we collect the data. Actually, Fitch Group, we actually collected data based on our own accounting rules, standardization rules. So, like,
my simple question is this: suppose if I want on data from Islam, Malaysian Islamic Bank, I don't want the conventional banks. So how do I do that? I just want my Islamic banks.
you can actually like that will be based on your search criteria.
So
So
can I
if
just
you
okay?
if you
Can I
want to go for that, you can go to bank. There's an
okay?
Islamic bank.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
So that is not like the data item. It's actually like how you classify search the bank. But
Okay.
it, but when you look at that, you may want to look at some because you're focused on Islamic banking, right? So you may like download the Islamic banking specific data point. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, so that is so I guess actually like I can like back to my previous introduction of database is actually like um, we when particularly when you like do the research across different countries. So accounting in US or in Japan will be actually slightly different in Taiwan or in China, right? So our database is actually like try to make it comparable because actually we are not doing the audit. So but our data collection team is actually we will do the standardizations so that the data items here would be um, comparable, even they are in different countries using different accounting gap. So like I can give you an example. Actually, I told Melissa before you guys joined about my background. I'm actually I have been working with Fitch for 8 years, and also I worked with S&P for 12 years as a risk modeler, and also credit subject matter expert. Um, and I was a credit analyst, so I believe myself is actually relatively strong in financial analysis. Um, but when I joined Fitch, I actually look at a bank in Taiwan, and then when I look at the operational income, I find I cannot calculate the same value as what we have in our database. So I talked to the data collection team. I said like, hey, your data seems actually missing something. I cannot like calculate that back from this financial statement. And then the data team actually told me that according to the Taiwan accounting gap, actually there's a one item which is like all financials. So you actually that is actually tax related items there. So actually I need to add it back because actually that data is available on the notes to the account. So otherwise, actually, the data will not comparable with other operating profits in other countries. So we make that kind of adjustment, and then to make the data will be comparable, even they are using different accounting gap. And you probably when you look at the literature review, you probably have like noticed that a lot of bank credit research or bank research is actually they use the data from Bankscope. Uh, Bankscope actually was our previous partner actually before I joined Fitch. So Fitch actually provide Bankscope actually they collect the data from the different data provider. Fitch actually provide them the financial data part. So after the partnership for many years, Fitch actually designed to the partnership with the Banks Group. So we distribute the data through the Fitch Connect and now Fitch Rating Pro. Yeah, so the database actually like um, um, have been like a long time. So we collect like over 40 years bank financials. Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much from my part. I would leave it to if any questions about the bank data and the XIA. If not, I would pass it to Tran.
Yes, thank you so much, Dan, for your thorough explanations about how our end user can actually extract the financial data from the our database. And I hope that the audience here that if you have any question there, please feel free to let us know. You can put it in the chat, or please feel free to raise your voice. And because we just would love to make sure that we are going to make it, the most interactive as much as that we can there. Yeah. So if any question, please feel free to let us know. And thanks again, Dan. Moving forward, so my colleagues, like Dan here, he actually show you how you can actually extract the financial data from the Excel add-in feature. And just to summarize from what we do here at Fitch Solutions. So we are providing you the credit rating data and also the credit research as well. So it's potentially it's helped you to understand a better a full credit picture of any entities that you are assessing on. I would like to take the opportunity to walk you through our new Fitch Ratings Pro. Potentially the main focus that I'm going to introduce to you here. Just would love to focus on the rating report, and also a different type of the research potentially that you can leverage from our database here. So if you're allowed, let me share my screen with you, and then it would be great if you could help me um, know um, if my screen is visible for you there.
Yes, yes, Trang.
Okay, okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this is like the landing page of the Fizz Ratings Pro. The way that we are designing the website is quite powerful because it also depends on the workflow. So yeah, so as I mentioned that we providing you not only the fundamental data, but we also provide you the rating report, and also a lot of different type of research which will help you to understand the credit worthiness of particular entities and also sovereigns as well. um, let me take one of the example here. So just wanted to presenting to you the website here. So the structure of the website is going to be consistent of the overview page here, that you are going to have the global economic outlook, which we are going to emphasize it to you if either any opportunity our outlook towards to the economic from the global perspective in from June 2024. And then down here you are going to be able to build your own portfolio, and then you will be able to stay on top of any ratings movement if anything changed there. So the way that as I mentioned, the way that we are designing the platform is very diverse. It depends on the workflow, but considering that the majority of the use case that you are going to have, I believe that the ratings report and also the research is going to be helpful for your understanding. The Let me start with the global search here. So technically, you can search all of them, any Islamic bank or any different bank, or let's say sovereigns that you want to deep dive further. So I am taking, Abu Dhabi here as one of the example. Let me Dhabi here. Islamic Bank. Um, yeah. So when you type anything in the global search here, and then you are going to have a list of the banks or entities relevant to the keyword that you are putting here. So what information that you have the name here, and you have a little red icon indicating to you that if this if this particular entity is rated by Fitch or not. And then you have the rating action days, you have the sectors, and then you have the country of the entity as well. So let me take you to the entity page. So potentially what it does here is that it will provide you a full credit picture of that particular entity. So you have the ratings, you have the rating sensitivity, you have the rating history here. It will be helpful for the one that having the access directly to the website, but then the rating report is always available to you on the right hand side here. So if I can show you what we actually deliver through the ratings report here. I understand that it's quite small for you to see, so let me let me download it. Yeah, so I have downloaded over here. Just would love to make sure that it's going to be a lot more visible for you here. So the this is the one of the ratings report coming from us. So what it does is that it provides you a detailed holistic entity analysis, so you can get a deeper understanding of of its risk. As a structure of the report page, you have the ratings, you have the rating summaries over here, and then you have the key ratings driver summarized to you in the first page here, and then down here you always have the analyst phone number and email address in case that you have any questions behind the outlook, behind the criteria, and then you just would love to have a little bit more deeper clarity directly from the analyst that was working on this ratings report. Then you can reach out directly to them, or please feel free to send the questions to me, and then I'm happy to relay it to our analyst team. All right. And then moving down to the rating report. Actually, as you can see here, that we have highlighted to you the rating sensitivity, highlighting to you any potential factors that potentially could influence the ratings score. If it's going upward or if it's going downward, and then you are going to have the other debt issuer ratings over here. Yeah, and then down here we visualizing the quantitative and qualitative rating criteria of this particular entity into the scale here. So potentially it helps you vividly understand how we are able to come with the final ratings conclusion. and then uh, and then if I keep moving down here, as you can see, apart from explaining to you how we're able to come to the final ratings score, we actually provided to you a deeper analysis surrounding the operating environment of particular entity here, and then we provided to you the business profile here, the balance sheet here, the risk profiles. You are going to have it there in the ratings report, and the financial profiles here as well. And then if I keep moving down to the report, you are going to have the summaries of the financial data here, which then shortly explain it to you how you can actually extract this financial data directly from the Excel add-in. Yes, and then we are going to highlight to you if either any different criteria that supporting the assessment as well. And then down here, this is we call ESG relevance score. So this is potentially what it does is that it's providing to you the understanding of how non-financial factors, including environmental, social, governance, how potentially it's going to impact to the rating score of the entity. And then we always explain it to you exactly, the sub indicator here, and then how you are going to read the scale here, which is ranging from 1 to 5. Yeah, so that is like the overall, let's say, looking of the rating report. And as you can see that we add a lot more explanation there, and then it's provide you, the grade depths when the ratings is difference, and potentially if either any risk here, any trends or opportunity, or potential that you can understand from this particular entity. So this is the credit rating report that potentially that you can reach out to the knowledge center, that they will be able to provide it to you with this. And then also, I wanted to introduce to you, for example, um, uh, apart from the ratings report here, we also provided to you a lot more different research. So if I can take you to the bank financial institution here, and then if I am taking you to the bank here, and then potentially for the one that having the direct access to the Fitch Ratings Pro, what is going to be helpful for you is that the criteria is always highlighted to you in the right corner of the page here. And then if you wanted to narrow down to any particular entities, you can click to the geography as a filter here, and then you can narrow down into any particular regions or sub-regions of your interest. So if I am selecting the Asia Pacific over here, and then potentially you are going to see some of the recent ratings actions that have been done by our analyst team. And then down here you are going to have all of the research concerning about the banks, and then concerning about the geographies that you are assessing on. And then if I am expanding the research type over here, some of the good topical research that I would like to highlight it to you. For example, if I can select the outlook over here, and then if I can take you to one of the outlook, so potentially this is the sector outlooks that we are providing to you. Let me expand it to you. So yeah, so potentially what it does is that it's a forward-looking series. The research is providing directly from Office ratings. What it does is that it's providing to you our opinions of the expected credit environment for the sectors, over 6 or 12 months. So what you can do with this is that potentially you can understand the potential challenges or the opportunities that might arise, and how operating environment is will affect the entities that you cover, or the entities that you have been working with. And as you can see that we are providing to you the analysis, and then a lot more, graph and charts over here, the appendix here. So yeah, it's a short, sweet, concise content that potentially helping you to stay on top of the movement of the credit environment here. And then if I can go back to the research type, and then if I can expanding to if I can show you one of the peer review that we also providing. So if I can take one of the peer review as one of the example. So what it does potentially is will help you to understand, the strength, the weaknesses, and gain a better understanding of any specific entities in comparison with its peers. Because with the peers analysis, our analyst has done the job for you, and then providing to you a little bit more thorough explanations and the comparisons, how you can understand the position of particular entities and how you can actually compare that entity towards to the peers. So as you can see, the peers group has been identified by the our analyst here. Is summarized to you over here, and then you are going to have a little bit more side by side comparisons when it's come to the rating criteria as well. And then we take into the considerations of the operating environment. We take into consideration of the business profile here as well, the risk profile here as well. Yeah, the financial profile is also included to you here. So when you look into the rating report, you have the full credit picture of that particular entity. But then when you refer to the peer reviews, potentially you can compare all of the relevant element of the entities and within the peers group. Yeah, so that is about the peer review. And another different type of research that I want to highlight to you is what investor wants to know. My apologies. Let me deselect the peer review from here. Yeah. So what investor wants to know? Let me take one of the example. This is a peer review. My apologies. Let me. Yeah. So, what potentially it does is that we summarize it to you what is the most frequent asked questions that was asked by the investor that our analyst has the opportunity to interact with, and then you have all of the questions highlighted with hyperlink over here, and then you always have the analyst details over here in case that you want to develop the topics, or in case that you want to have some questions relevant to the any highlighted questions over here. Yeah, and if you click straight to the questions, then you are going to have the summary answer over here in the research. So that is like the main research that I want to highlight it to you. Potentially, it's going to supplement the ratings report, and potentially, it's going to be helpful for you to stay on top of any opportunities or the investments strengths of the banking as a whole, as the sector as a whole, or any particular entities that you have been working on. So for the center, I believe that what is going to be helpful for you is that if you go to the advanced search over here, and then potentially what it does is that you will have the ability to extract all of the ratings reports across different entities, or you can go to the research over here, and then what potentially that you can do is that you can expand the banks here, and then you can go to the um, Islamic banks, and then you can do the filter with the country, with the research type. So if I am expanding the first ratings report here, so yeah, so then it will give you the ability to cross downloading the ratings report, or the peer review, or the outlook across different entities or across different countries. Any question here for me at all?
It works now. Thank you very much. This is Najib from Ethiopia. INCEIF
Yes.
alumni.
Hi.
So sorry, I think I was late. Can we get this video later in our the video of this training?
Yes, I believe that the recording will be shared from the knowledge center. So yeah, you are going to have the recording shared with you later on after this training.
Okay, all right. Can we also get? Can I also get the password and the user for this Fitch Rating Pro? How can I
Yes, yes,
get access?
yes. Yes, Mr. Najib. You can email to us requesting for the login details. It will be
I
provided to you. Yeah.
I requested several times from my INCEIF contacts,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't respond to the point that I get very
Uh,
disappointed. Yeah, I don't know. Nobody is responding. But anyways, you can drop me a link in this chat if you can. Thank you. Shukran.
okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, thank you so much for the question there. So, yeah, so I was saying is that potentially if you go to the advanced search over here, you will be able to cross downloading the ratings report or any topical reports that I was introducing to you before. And then you will have the ability to make the filter with the headline, with the abstract, with the research type, with the country. So it's allowing you to narrow down to any specific research that you would like to download. And also for the one that having the direct access to the Fitch Ratings Pro, I also want to highlight to you one of the functionalities that you can do with the Fitch Ratings Pro is that if you are working on any group of the entity, potentially what you can do is that you can create the portfolio. The way that you can do with this is that you can go to the portfolio over here, and then you can click to the create portfolio, and then you can decide whether you want to create the portfolio based on the entity or based on the issues. So for example, I am selecting, Islamic Bank because I know that that is like the main topics that you are working on. And then let's say that I only want to have the rated Islamic bank, so I can select the rated Islamic banks over here, and then I only want to work with the one that having investment grade. So I am selecting that. So here you are going to have a group of investment graded Islamic banks over here. And then what you can do is that you can tick to the entity box over here, and then you can go to add to portfolio, and then you can name it like Islamic banks. Mm. My apologies. I'm not sure why it didn't allow me to save. Let me name again. Yeah. Okay. And then you can just click to done. Once you have saved it, then when you go back to the portfolio, then you can see the name that we are doing together. So you can click to that. What it does here is that the way that you can interact with the portfolio is that first, when you go to the portfolio, you are going to have the list of all of the entities within the portfolio that you were building. And then down here you are going to have the ratings distribution here, and then some upgrade downgrade ratio, any the ratings outlook distribution here. And then down here you are going to have all of the research relevant to the entities within your portfolio. Okay. um, and then if you go to the report builder here, let me show it to you how you can actually extract the data from the portfolio. Then you can go to the report builder, you can go to the create new report over here, and then you can select from the portfolio, and then you can select any portfolio within your collection. So if I can select Islamic banks over here, and then if I can select next, and then you can select the recommended default column sets here. Okay, and then just give it a minute to load. And then as you can see here, there is it will provide you the ability to view your own report based on the entity that you have been working on. The way that you can tailor the report is that you can select the choose columns over here, and then let me um, let me show it to you how exactly you can view. You can select exactly the data point. So if you can go to the financial over here, and then if you can expand the bank's financial, and then as you can see, you can expand any particular bank's financial of your interest, and then it can becomes very granular. For example, if you're only interested in assets, then you can select any access of your interest over here. And then as you can see, whenever you are selecting anything, the report has been changed according to the columns that you have been adding. And then the way that you can save with this is that if you can expand to the active columns over here, and then you can click to save active column sets, and then you can name it as financial um, banks, and then you can save it. Okay, so as you can see that this is the columns that I have been selecting. And then what you can do is that you can click to the export over here, and then you can have all of the information in the Excel format. And then if you remember the column sets that we have been saving together, what it does is that later on, when you go back to the report builder, when you have the new portfolio and then you want to apply exactly the same column sets on that portfolio, you absolutely can do that. You just need to follow exactly the same steps. And then when you go to the choose column over here, as you can see down here, you will be able to see all of the customized column sets that I have in my collection. So the same way that it's going to apply for you. Once you have selected exactly the data point, you can just save it in advance, and then you can just apply to all different portfolio of your interest. Any question here for me about extracting the data from the Fitch Ratings Pro?
Uh, it may not be relevant, but I just a quick question. Suppose you have few
Sure.
banks in your portfolio and there's a
Yeah.
rating change. Is there any way we can set up an alert, the system will send an alert to this thing? It may not be
Yes.
possible. Just curious though.
Absolutely. That is absolutely possible. Thank you so much for the great question over there. So if I go back to the advanced search over here, if I can show you how you can set off the alerts, because the way that you are going to set off the alerts is very powerful, because it's not only allowing you to receive the alerts when it comes to any ratings movement, but for example, whenever we are releasing any new different report research, then you will be able to have the alerts on as well. So the way that you are going to set it up is that, yeah, it's quite similar with the portfolio. So let me show it to you as just one of the example here, and then I'm going to explain it to you the alert setting as a whole. So for example, I am selecting the Islamic banks um, as the main topics here. Um, yeah, and then for example, if I can select some of the all of the Fitch ratings reports, and then if I can click to save search Islamic banks research, and then if you can see the alerts has been enabled here, right? And then you can click to that save. So now how you are going to configure the alerts, if you go to my settings here, and then you can go to the alert settings. So under the alert settings, you have two possibility. One is that you will be able to set up the alerts based on the portfolio. So as you can see that I have multiple the portfolio over here, and then the Islamic bank here. If you can click to the edit content type here, and then you expand the ratings part. So whenever, if either any movement with the short term, long term ratings, or if you want to stay on top of any different third party ratings agency, like for example if it's coming from Moody's or if it's coming from S&P, yes, you will be able to receive the alerts, and then you can decide if you want to receive the alerts, daily, weekly, or in real time. So whenever if anything changed, any ratings has been issues, any movement there, you will be able to receive the alerts sent directly to your inbox. And then that is about the ratings part, right? And then when it's come to the research and the face ratings here, um, you have the entity report type here, and then you will be able to decide what type of the report that you would want to receive the alerts on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure. And then the same way that you are going to have with the save searches, then you can click to edit search over here, in case that you want to do some adjustments, or in case that you want to work on Islamic banks ratings report, but you want to narrow down into the country, then you can just simply click to edit the report, and then it will take you directly to the advanced search. um, and yeah, so that is about that, how actually that you can configure the alert, a different way that you can interact with the portfolio. Let me go back to the portfolio, and then I would love to show you one uh, one functionalities of the website here. As you can see here in the right corner, you can enable the alerts on in any case that you wanna stay on top of this, or if you are not interested in receiving the alerts anymore, you can turn it off. And then the criteria of that particular entities is always highlighted to you over here, in case that you want to deep dive more further about the quantitative and qualitative criteria that have been done by our analyst team. Okay, so that is about the Face Ratings Pro, about the portfolio, about the report builder, how you can actually interact with this, how you can find the criteria information there. The last information that I want to highlight it to you is that if you are wondering, apart from the research, either any different the digital content that you can consume, um, the answer is absolutely yes. We are conducting a lot of different webinars that potentially our analysts can share directly their outlooks about the credit market to you. So give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing, and then I will share it with you a different link that you can register to the webinars um, directly. Give me 1 second. Um, uh, yes. Let me paste this to you, the link in the chat. So we are conducting a lot of like virtual webinars that potentially you can join, and then you can see what is the credit outlooks that you could expect from us. Yeah, and you can listen to the recordings, or you can register yourself with the upcoming webinars there as well by the link that I have shared it with you in the chat. Okay, so that will be coming to an end of the Fitch Ratings Pro, the ratings report, different research that potentially that you can expect from us. Do you have any question at all for me about the our data coverage, about the content that we are providing? So I guess it's yeah, my pleasure. Um, so yeah, if you don't have any further question for me, yeah, I guess that I'm handing the floor over to you, Melissa.
Okay, thank you very much to Trang and Mr. Daniel for your presentation. It was a detailed explanation about today's training. So if there is no further questions from the audience, we can end this session now. Um, the recording will be shared to you guys later, probably by tomorrow. Once again, thank you very much. With that, I end today's session with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you and see you again. Thank you, Trang.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for the opportunity. And if you have any question at all, anything unclear,
Yeah.
any support that you need, please feel free
Yeah.
to reach out to